genomic animation. It's kind of like a made-up term as a medium, but almost like an artistic practice. This is like the culmination of all these things. So when it comes to the form, so in the experimentations, we went very far in developing these things, and eventually the abyss looked back into us, and we pulled the plug. When you look at data spillback, the idea of an image genome, that is a code that holds every possible version of a picture. And genomic animation fills human line work with image genomes, right? So it's basically using the drawings, but it's also injecting it with something like an image genome to reduce that space for the collaboration to work. You reduce the margin of error between what you're doing and what is being seen as a tool to be able to be understood by your audience. So that's why when you have consensus on what one image looks like an apple, for example, you can grow that genome of an apple through all the tools that are currently available, but within the urban planning, like the line work of your own subjective view. So you're both having a subjective animation, but at the same time, that thing is backed up by the consensus of the statistical consensus of what the texture and the color should look like. So that's more or less the idea. And that's human-computer interaction and not AI from where I stand. It's kind of like a prosthetic, right? So it's like an extension of your creative act. It's a way to connect through shared symbols, but you need balance. So here we have an example where I have an iconic, kind of like character with little eyes. This is how the database is pressuring you. It's correcting you to do what you ought to be doing based on statistics. So it says like, why doesn't it look like Pixar? It should be like Pixar. So it starts correcting you, right? So you see how it pulls the eyes to this triangle that is more statistically probable. So that's a great example of how an IP that is independent has not enough room in the database. So the prosthetics of that of your figurative body, metaphorical body, is like tilting you in a very subtle form of censorship to what you would have statistically done instead of what you did, right? So it's like this weird. Maybe someone has a better way of saying this, but I think you get what this is. So you need balance, and that's the the elegance you're sculpting between these two extremes. You either back up your work with production value, that's like incredible with all these new tools that are available, but whenever they start censoring you, that's when you stop using them.